well. We're having a look at another devblog for the next major update, and this one is for a T-34-85, specifically the STP version. This was actually talked about in the community update post, and also talked about even previously when the Partisan event was happening. Basically, Gaijin were going to add another T-34-85 to the Russian tech tree with a vertical stabilizer, and this is that one. This vehicle is going to come to the standard tech tree once again, just like the Chieftain. It's going to be in the USSR one, and also at rank 4, which will be quite nice. If I remember as well, they did talk about rejigging the T-34s, pushing some of them down to rank 3 when this thing comes out. So we'll probably see the standard T-34-85 drop to rank 3, and this will take its slot at rank 4. Maybe they'll even group the D5T and the standard one together, leaving a nice space for this vehicle. So let's get into the history of how this vehicle got access to a vertical stabilizer, and as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. In April 1944, Soviet leaders attempted to radically improve the effectiveness of the T-34-85 medium tank. State Defense Committee Resolution Number 5595S, signed by Molotov, authorized the development of the STP-S53 Taran gyroscopic stabilizer for the S53 85mm gun. This design was a development of the earlier STP-34 stabilizer, developed by the Special Design Bureau of the People's Commissariat of the Shipbuilding Industry. Tests of both stabilizers conducted in 1944 yielded impressive results. With the vertical stabilizer on, firing accuracy on the move increased approximately twofold compared to firing without stabilization. However, despite successful testing, the Taran stabilizer was never put into mass production. The reasons for this included both the technical difficulties of mass-producing precision gyroscopic systems during wartime, and also concerns about the T-34-85's overall reliability. So it's pretty obvious what you're getting with this vehicle, right? It's just a T-34-85, which has been in the Russian tech tree for a millennia at this point, and you're getting it with a vertical stabilizer. If you've never used a vertical stabilizer on one of these types of vehicles before, it is a complete game changer. The Shermans, which are in the American tech tree, they all have a vertical stabilizer. The Stuarts also do, and even some of the earlier American vehicles. This means that you can easily get the first shot off in most engagements, giving you a huge advantage. I remember when they buffed the M61, when they brought in the DeMar formula for the shells, it just made those Shermans unstoppable for the longest time, with these 75s just bonking everything around the place. And now we've had a lot of vehicles go up in BR and down BR basically because of it. Now, the Soviets don't really have a lot of vehicles with stabilizers at the lower BRs. Most of their vehicles with stabilizers actually come around about the 8.7 and above mark, or maybe like the 8.0 or the 8.3 mark. And it's going to be interesting to see how people adapt to this type of vehicle, because they may realize what they've been missing for the longest time. Basically, what this is it is just a standard T-34-85, which will be able to fire quicker as you decelerate, or if you're going at low speeds, you'll have an incredibly stabilized gun, which will be able to fire on the move. So this means whenever you're accelerating or decelerating, and somebody else is accelerating or decelerating into you, you will have an advantage in the shot department, which will be really nice. It will also probably put it up in BR compared to the standard T-34-85, just because of the fact that this is quite a large advantage, and it'll probably be about 6.0, which means that it'll face heavies a lot more, such as the Tiger IIs, which remember, the Tiger IIH is getting a remodel, and then also stuff like the T-34s from the American side of things. This means that the matchmaking is going to be a lot more gruesome for this vehicle, but at the same time, with this upgrade, it might actually help it out quite a lot. The T-34-85 has some really nice APHE rounds and generally will do a lot of damage once you penetrate. You have one which has a little bit more kind of penetration but less explosive mass, and then you have the one which has a little bit less penetration but a lot more explosive mass. For me, since it has the APHE mechanics, you can take the one with the slightly more pen because it's just going to annihilate anything that it runs into anyway. So basically, the vehicle will do a metric ton of damage to whatever it hits. Even more recently, with the last update, they must have changed something with certain rounds around these BRs, because if you pen, let's say, the side of the turret, the expansion of the explosion is so big now, it actually hits the transmission at the bottom of vehicles, and they get stuck there, so they can't even move while you just maim them with the APHE. I found this with the Shermans, the T-34s, and also many others that I've been using while doing the page of history, so it just kind of seems a bit unfair, if I'm honest, in terms of how it's set up. They also do say in the article, when the T-34-85 STP comes to the game, the T-34-85 will be moved from rank 4 to rank 3 and will be grouped with the T-34-85D5T. The STP will be at rank 4 before the T-44. So it will actually make the standard T-34-85 easier to grind and also give you more of a lineup. So yeah, it's kind of cool that they're doing that, and even though this thing was a one-off prototype, it's nice to see that Gaijin have stuck it into the tech tree because, well, to be honest, it makes more sense to do so since it's a slight upgrade over the standard one. Hopefully we get more vehicles like this, more kind of one-off prototypes testing specific parts of each of the vehicles, kind of like this, and then also I suppose the Chieftain 900. Maybe that's going to be kind of a theme for this update, which would be pretty cool. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.